everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep and welcome to this session on CAT 2023 QA section strategy. I'm Saral Nashir with you today and I'll be talking about how to score 99 percentile in CAT 2023. Okay, so before I start, I would just request all of you to just let me know, am I audible and visible to you guys? Can you all hear me? Can you all see me? After that, we will start with our session. Hello, Prashant Tiwari. Good afternoon. Hello, Sonali. Very good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. Hi, Mayur Nikam. Hello, good afternoon. So, what are we going to talk about in this session? Score 99 percentile in CAT 2023, and I'll be talking about it, right? And I can talk about it because I have scored 99 percentile. I mean, rather 99.99 percentile is my average score of the last 6-7 years in CAT. Every year I've been scoring 99.99. 100 हर बार मिस हो जाता है. I got 100 many years back, around 13-14 years back. But yes, because I have been writing CAT all these years, so I have written CAT 20-21 times till now. That means I have a fair idea about the QA and LRDI session specifically, because of course I am able to score there only. About verbal I cannot talk. तो इनके बारे में तो मैं पक्का कह सकता हूँ that how can you score well in these two sections and how can you score 99 percentile here, right? Some common features are there, some things that have to be taken care of. Even if you start doing them from today, I am pretty sure that you would be able to score very well in these sections. Okay, so we'll start soon about it. So, yes, says Prashant and Sonali, that's great. Thank you, Jatin. Good afternoon, Jatin. Good afternoon. So, let's start talking about it now. बात करते हैं इसके बारे में कि क्या क्या basically है which I want to discuss in this session with all of you. Okay. So first of all, before I start with it, the first thing that we need to know is this only, that what actually this exam is all about. So CAT 2022, this is the paper pattern of CAT 2022, and there is a good chance, I would say, 99% chances are there that this year's paper is almost going to be the same as that of CAT 2022. I mean, I'm not talking about difficulty level, I'm talking about the paper pattern, right? How many questions are there and one number of MCQs, theta, almost the same would be there. So last year, I mean, that has been there for last many years now, last 3 years. This section was time limit has been 40 minutes. The paper is of 2 hours. For every correct answer, you get plus 3 marks. For every incorrect answer, you get -1. And for not attempted questions, you get 0. This -1 for incorrect questions is not applicable for theta questions. For theta questions, it is plus 3 or 0. For these questions, it is plus 3 or -1 or 0. Right answer plus 3, wrong answer -1, unattempted 0. Theta के केस में right answer plus 3, unattempted or wrong, the answer score would be 0. What is theta? Theta is type in the answer. So there are some questions in which after solving, there is a box given to you in which you have to write down the answer, and there are some questions in which you have to select the right option, that which one is the correct answer. Okay, so that's what about theta questions and MCQ questions is. And the number of questions, we are assuming it is going to be almost the same this year as well, the way it was there last year. That is 24 questions in verbal ability, 40 minutes, 20 questions in DILR, 40 minutes, 22 questions in quantitative ability, 40 minutes. And today our focus area is quantitative ability. This is something that I'm going to talk about in our today's class. Okay. So let's move ahead from here. First of all, if I talk about a score versus percentile in QA section, so our focus area once again would be the last 3 years, because in the last 3 years the exam has been of 2 hours and QA section has been of 40 minutes, right? So these are the scores that are there in 40 minutes. Before that, the exam was of 3 hours and QA section was of 60 minutes. These are the scores out of 66. These are the scores out of 66. And this year, the scores were out of 78, though all the 3 years we had 40 minutes for each section. तो ये scores आपके 60 में से 66 में से हैं और ये score आपका 78 में से है. At what score, what percentile are you getting? So that is mentioned in this table on your screen now. Okay. So if I look at the score versus percentile thing, you can see an 80 percentile. That means 80% of the students would be below you if you score 11.5 in CAT 2022, 12 in CAT 2021, or 16 in CAT 2020. Of course, this is slightly on the higher side because the number of questions were also slightly larger, right? तो उसकी वजह से भी हो सकता है, even the paper was slightly on the easier side, उसकी वजह से भी ऐसा हो सकता है, though the time limit was the same, it was 40 minutes. For a 90 percentile, these are the scores that you have. For a 95 percentile, 99 percentile, and 99.5 percentile, what are the scores that you should be having to achieve these percentiles? These are written on your screen. You can also write them in form of a number of questions. So there were 22 questions in CAT 2022 in the QA section. If you do just 4 questions out of 22, you will get 80 percentile. By doing 6 questions, you can get 90 percentile. By doing 7.5 questions, you can get 95 percentile. By doing approximately 11 questions, you can get 99 percentile. And by doing approximately 12 questions, you could have got 99.5 percentile. And I think a 99.9 would have been at somewhere around 14 or 15 questions, right? 14 or 15 questions would have given you a 99.9 percentile in CAT 2022. That's my assumption. It might be 15 or 16 as well. Definitely not more than 16. 15-16 के आसपास रहा होगा, right? So how difficult it is to do these questions in 40 minutes only. And today I'm going to talk about scoring 99 percentile. That means I am talking about this percentile, right? That means just 11 questions out of 22, just 33 marks out of 66, which tells you approximately 50% of the total could have got you a 99 percentile in QA in CAT 2022. The year before that, it was one question more. So you can say it was approximately 55%. And a year before that, it was once again somewhere around 55 or 60%. So this is the percentage of the QA section that you would be focusing upon to score a 99 percentile. I hope all of you are getting my point. Please write yes in the chat box if you are getting what am I trying to say. आपको समझ आ रही है मेरी बात तो प्लीज यस जरूर लिखिएगा वहां पे so that I also know that you are listening to me. Whatever your questions are, whatever your queries are, please do type them in the chat box once again so that I know if you have any query. I would be answering them right now. अभी के अभी उनके बारे में बात कर लेंगे कुछ भी अगर आपके दिमाग में है तो okay. So these are the scores at which you could have got a 99 percentile. Today we are talking about that only. I think every student should be targeting, an average student would be targeting something like a 99 percentile only, right? Of course, you can get up above that as well, 99.5, 99.9. आप ये कहेंगे कि सर वो क्यों नहीं टारगेट करना चाहिए? That way I would say you should target 100 percentile, right? But I think that on an of an average student target should be 99 plus. 99 plus में उसे ये लगता है I've scored as much that I would be able to clear all sectional cutoff first of all. वो तो वैसे 90 पे भी clear हो जाती है plus it will actually add to my overall score as well, well enough such that I can score a good percentile overall as well. Okay. So that's what we are going to talk about now. What about the QS section specifically? What all topics are there and what are the percentages of those topics? So what I've done a research of last 3 years, 2022, 2021 and 2020. Last 3 years when the exam has been of 2 hours, the section has been of 40 minutes. How many questions from which all areas have been there? So let's talk about that now. So when I talk about CAT 2022, out of a total 22 questions, 8 to 9 questions were there from arithmetic, but algebra was 4 to 9. It's a big range because in one of the slots there were only 4 questions from algebra. In one of the slots there were 9 questions from algebra. So that range was big. Otherwise, arithmetic has always been the single largest area in CAT QA section. ये आप हमने ऐसा ही देखा होगा. The third largest area has always been geometry, followed by number system and then modern mathematics. Once again, when I talk about CAT 2021, once again, you would see 7 to 10 questions were there from arithmetic, 6 to 8 from algebra, 3 to 5 from geometry, 1 or 2 questions from number system, and single question in all 3 slots from modern mathematics. The year before that, once again, I had maximum number of questions in arithmetic, that is 10 questions, followed by algebra, followed by geometry, number system, and modern maths. And the year before that, when the exam was of 3 hours, the section was of 60 minutes. Even at that time, the situation was the same. Arithmetic has been the single largest area through all these years in CAT, followed by algebra, followed by geometry. Number system, modern maths have been the least possible, the least, weightage areas from which the questions have been asked. Right? Now, on the next page, what am I trying to do? I'm just trying to correlate these two things now. The thing which is there on your screen right now, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, number system, modern maths, कितना आता है? The thing we discussed on the previous page, कि score पे कितना percentile आता है? So let's just talk about that now. I'm just trying this to give you an assessment about that. So here is a chart that you see on the screen. Okay. This is the chart according to the topics. 40.48 percentage has been the weightage of arithmetic in the last 3 years in the QA section. 32.86 have been the weightage of algebra section in the last 3 years in QA section. 14.76 has been the weightage of geometry. 7.14 has been the weightage of number system. And lastly, 4.76 has been permutation and combination, probability, and all that. Rather, probability has never been asked in last many years now. So these are the weightages of the topics there. Now, what do I have over here? ध्यान से देखिएगा, अब इसके बारे में भी मैं बात करता हूं. This is the score at which you get an 80 percentile in CAT QA section. This is the score to get a 90 percentile in CAT. This is the score to get a 95 percentile in CAT. This is the score to get a 99 percentile in CAT. And this is the score that is to get a 99.5 percentile in CAT. So this 43.93 is that part of the paper or QA section. If I miss that completely, 43.93%, अगर मैं QA section के 43.93% questions को ना करूं, still I can manage to get 99.5 percentile, of course, if I'm assuming that everything else that I'm doing is correct. This is the net score that I'm going to talk about. Now, अगर मैं 80 परसेंटाइल यहां से अगर कंपेयर करके देखूं तो तकरीबन यहां पे मेरा 80 परसेंटाइल आता है. अगर वही मैं 90 परसेंटाइल को देख रहा हूं, इट अपीयर्स एट समवेयर हियर. A 95 percentile appears at somewhere here. A 99 percentile appears at somewhere here, and a 99.5 percentile appears somewhere here. What does that mean? What does it tell you? Looking at this graph, can I say just by doing arithmetic, I could have gone above 95 percentile in CAT QA section? Isn't that correct? अगर मैं 17.42 प्लस 8.33 प्लस 8.33 करता हूं, दिस गिव्स मी समवेयर अराउंड 37%. इसका मतलब 37% ऑफ द क्यूए सेक्शन कैन टेक मी टू 95 percentile, whereas more than 40% is arithmetic only. 40% से ज्यादा अर्थमेटिक आ रहा है और 37% क्यूए सेक्शन करने पे आपका 95 percentile आ रहा है. Is that wrong? I would not say it is wrong, but I would definitely not suggest to use this strategy that okay, let us do arithmetic only and let's do arithmetic so well that whatever question from arithmetic appears, I would be able to do it. Right? This strategy is definitely not advisable. Let me tell you that. आपको strategize ये नहीं करना है. Though the reality is this, that if I talk about the last few years, and had you done all questions of arithmetic only, you could have easily gone above 95 percentile in your paper. लेकिन ये strategy advisable नहीं है. Why is it not advisable? First, the risk involved with this strategy. What is the risk involved? There are two risks involved. First, हमें लगता है ठीक है अर्थमेटिक को बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर लेते हैं, बट हाउ एवर गुड यू आर at a particular topic. You can never say that I would be able to do each and every question of that particular area. The risk involved is there is a possibility that this year in CAT, whatever questions from arithmetic comes, they are the most difficult one. हो सकता है वो आपको अलजेब्रा इस बार आसान दे दें, हो सकता है ज्योमेट्री आसान दे दें. सो आई एम फोकसिंग अपॉन द एरिया विच इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ बीइंग डिफिकल्ट आई एम नॉट एबल टू डू इवन 6-7 क्वेश्चंस इन अर्थमेटिक, राइट. लेकिन वही 6-7 क्वेश्चंस मैं आराम से अलजेब्रा ज्योमेट्री में शायद 15 मिनट में कर लेता. बट आई एम फोकसिंग ऑल अपॉन अर्थमेटिक बिकॉज दिस इज माई स्ट्रेंथ एरिया. मैंने तो पढ़ा ही ये है. सो दैट इज अ बिग रिस्क इन्वॉल्व विद दिस. The second big risk that has happened in past, not in CAT but in some other exam it has happened. Who knows, next year these pictures might just reverse completely. You might have 40% questions of number system suddenly, followed by 32% of geometry and just 7-8% of arithmetic and 14% of, let's say, algebra. Who knows, even that can happen, right? ठीक है, it has not happened for many years, but what does that mean? Does that mean that it can never happen again? It can happen, right? Yes, once again, let me say this, that the chances of happening of that are very low. There are good 98-99% chances that arithmetic would still have the largest number of questions, that by doing very good in arithmetic you can score something like 94-95 percentile easily. But I would always suggest do just the basics of algebra and geometry. Along with that, easily you can sail through 99 percentile. A 99 percentile comes here, which is 37 plus 16.66, that means equal to approximately 50 to 53% पे आपका स्कोर आता है. 50 to 53% पे आपका 99 परसेंटाइल आ रहा है. सो 40% इज एक्चुअली अर्थमेटिक, 32% इज एल्जेब्रा, दैट मेक्स 72%. इनमें से कुछ क्वेश्चन छोड़ के भी मैं इजीली 99 परसेंटाइल तक जा सकता हूं. बट आई एम सेइंग व्हाई टू फोकस अपॉन दीज टू एरियाज ओनली. सम पीपल माइट बी वेरी गुड एट ज्योमेट्री. ज्योमेट्री के क्वेश्चंस खींच डालिए सारे के सारे. You can do very good at arithmetic and geometry and just the basic questions of algebra, right? बट आई वुड डेफिनेटली से पीएनसी अगर बहुत अच्छा भी कर लोगे तो शायद उससे बहुत हेल्प आपको नहीं मिलेगी, बिकॉज दे वुड बी हार्डली आस्किंग यू एनी क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम पीएनसी. नंबर सिस्टम बहुत अच्छा भी कर लोगे तो भी शायद फायदा नहीं होने वाला है. बट यस, out of geometry, arithmetic and algebra, I think the good strategy of scoring 99 percentile is do arithmetic at any cost completely, do one of algebra and geometry completely, and do the basics of the other topic completely. By this property you can by this logic you can definitely go through above 99 percentile in CAT. I hope you have got my idea from here what I'm trying to say. So I'll move ahead. Once again, I would request if there are any questions, please come up with your questions. I would be happy to answer your questions. This is just an assessment done by me, what I have seen in the last year. तो ये आपको भी दिखाई दे रहा होगा. अगर 17% राइट पेपर करने पे आपका 80 परसेंटाइल आ रहा है, दैट मींस 80% ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट इवन एबल टू डू हाफ ऑफ अर्थमेटिक. अगर आप अर्थमेटिक का आधा भी कर लोगे तो भी आप 80% बच्चों से ऊपर निकल जाओगे. और 99 परसेंटाइल लाने के लिए यू हैव टू डू गुड पोर्शन ऑफ अर्थमेटिक along with good portion of algebra or geometry, and that can easily take you to 99 percentile. अर्थमेटिक अच्छे से कीजिए, एल्जेब्रा और ज्योमेट्री में से कोई एक टॉपिक बहुत अच्छे से कीजिए और बाकी सभी टॉपिक से बेसिक्स कर डालिए. दिस स्ट्रेटेजी इज गुड इनफ टू टेक यू अबव 99 percentile, राइट. नेक्स्ट थिंग, now some of you might be feeling sir we are weak at mathematics, what to do now. अब यहां आपने कह तो दिया, हमसे तो नहीं हो रहा है, राइट. तो हमें कभी पसंद ही नहीं आया मैथमेटिक्स, सो व्हाट शुड वी डू इन सच ए केस. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट एज वेल नाउ. फर्स्ट, pay attention to the basics. As I said, arithmetic is something in which no one can be bad, right? Profit loss and discount ratio, proportion, percentages, time and work, averages, ये सब आपने पढ़ा हुआ है स्कूल डेज में. So do it completely along with the basics, right? Apart from that, what you can do if you are not good at mathematics, algebra, geometry, number system, modern maths, इन सब के सिर्फ बेसिक्स पे पर ध्यान दीजिए. There should not be any question which is basic in nature and you would have left it. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. This is something that you have to pay attention to. पहली बात तो ये, if you are weak at mathematics, do this part. Second, To understand those basics, you can go through the NCERT books from class 6 to 10. Basically, NCERT books से यहाँ मेरा मतलब है text books. Do them completely, even the theory of these from class 6 to class 10, right? Do not do them, okay, I have understood this area, I'm able to understand the examples as well. Now you ask me a question from class 7th, I would be able to answer it. You ask me a question from class 8th, I would be able to answer it. No, that's not the point. The point is, आपको एनसीईआरटी की बुक्स करनी है 6 से 10 तक कंप्लीट थ्योरी सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक्स वेल. थर्ड, practice is a must. The very, very important point here is that practice is a must. Yesterday only a student asked me in the class, sir, how are you able to calculate this fast? And I answered, practice it, right? You talk about any of the things in mathematics, it's all about practice. So what you can learn from these classes is how to drive a car, right? How does the gear work? How does the race work? How does the clutch work? How does the brake work? Lekin how are you driving on the road, right? So how do you press brakes? From what distance you start applying the brakes? How far should be the person so that you can take away your car? All those things you would be able to understand only through practice. This is a must. You have to do this, right? If you are weak at mathematics, you want to be good at it, there is no alternate to hard work. You have to practice so much that you already you automatically you become good at it. Stay away from irrelevant concepts and questions. Now, this is a very important point that I want to discuss here. Nowadays, the concepts or the questions that we discuss many times, we do them from some, social media platforms. We do it from Facebook groups, we do it from Telegram, we do it from WhatsApp group. अलग अलग जगह पे यूट्यूब पे कोई वीडियो बना रहा है उसमें दे रहे हैं. द पॉइंट इज मेनी टाइम्स आई हैव सीन दैट दीज प्लेटफॉर्म्स प्रोवाइड यू वेरी इररेलेवेंट क्वेश्चंस एंड कॉन्सेप्ट्स एज वेल. बहुत इररेलेवेंट चीजें वो आपको बताते हैं. दे वुड बी डिस्कसिंग क्वेश्चंस दैट कैन नेवर अपीयर इन कैट, लेकिन वो आपको बताते रहेंगे उसके बारे में. सो दैट्स एन एरिया दैट यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन टू. यू मस्ट फाइंड आउट व्हाट आर रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चंस एंड कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ओनली डू देम. Otherwise, unnecessarily, we just lose our confidence. Oh God, I'm not able to do these 5 questions on CAT. I see so many people are able to do it. Arey, those people are doing it, but actually that's not relevant from CAT's perspective. So they are good at something which is not a part of our exam. So why to be good at it and why to feel low confident because of those guys? So don't do it. Find out what is relevant. And the improvement will come slowly. Of course, in a fortnight, you cannot become Ramanujan. It will take time. When you read these books, you will start understanding the basics. A liking for the subject would be developed. Slowly, you will start gaining confidence. Then slowly you would start practicing questions. You will start gaining more confidence. You'd be able to do the questions first. Then you'll start gaining more confidence that, okay, I can answer the questions. Then you start doing some moderate level questions, and that way the improvement comes. So by the time the exam is there, of course, you would have improved, but that improvement will come slowly. Keep that in mind. Okay. That's for the people who are weak at mathematics. Now, to score 99 percentile, what should we do? Let's talk about a few more things. It's a competitive exam. So a few things that needs to be taken care of. That is, time is important. Of course, you have to pay attention to your speed. Sir, whenever I try to do QA section of CAT, I am easily able to do half of the questions. That means I can easily score 99 percentile in CAT QA. But when you go to the exam, you are able to score 85 percentile only. Reason? When you were sitting at home, right? You were doing all those questions at your own convenience without any pressure in mind. आप आराम से कर रहे थे. There is a limit of 40 minutes, right? The timer is constantly moving, the constantly ticking on your screen, and you are again and again and again watching at that timer, looking at that timer, and that creates a problem, creates a pressure for you. Time is very important. You have to practice time bound things. This is very important for all of you. Second, alternate method must be used while practicing questions. We don't do it. What is our general way of doing the questions? जो भी question हमारे सामने आता है, we just try to do it in our school way or college way. Question आपके सामने पूरा solve किया, we get the answer. From the options, we find out what is the right answer. That's not the right way of doing it. Alternate methods must be used. I'll be discussing some questions as well today to just tell you about that. Options. The questions which are MCQs, the multiple choice questions, they will be giving you 4 options. Those 4 options are not to choose which is the right answer. Many a times those 4 options are to reject the 3 options which cannot be the answers. I will be talking about that as well. This also becomes a very important point for all of you. The choice of questions is important. If you see, just by doing 50% of the questions, you can score 99 percentile in CAT. That means you have to skip 50% of the questions. So that's also important. Then it's not only important that which all 50% of the questions you are doing. This also becomes important for us, which all 50% of the questions I must not do. So pay attention to that part as well. This is very important. I repeat it. It's a competitive exam. Strategize according to a competitive exam and know your strengths and weaknesses. ठीक? Find it out. What are you good at? What are you bad at? Because initial filtration would be done according to that only. Whether I'm going to do this question or not, ये मैं इसी basis पे तो decide करूंगा. It's a question from geometry. It looks like a lengthy question. I'm not going to do it. If it's a question of geometry, but it's very basic, okay, I can do it. लेकिन otherwise पहली चीज तो यही दिमाग में आती है ना, whether I like this topic or not. If I like time, speed and distance a lot, and there is a question on time, speed and distance which is slightly lengthy, still I would try it once. यार करके तो देखूं कि होता है कि नहीं, because I'm good at it. So you should easily be able to filter out the questions कौन से करने हैं कौन से नहीं करने हैं according to your strengths and weaknesses. So these are some of the things which are important. Is there anyone who has any kind of question? Please let me know. Any doubt that you have in your mind? कुछ भी आप पूछना चाह रहे हैं, कुछ भी आपके अगर दिमाग में आ रहा है कि अच्छा ये वाली चीज बताइए कैसे होगी, वो वाली चीज बताइए कैसे होगी, ऐसा कुछ है तो यू कैन राइट इट इन द चैट बॉक्स. I would be happy to answer. Now, I just discussed about alternate methods. I talked about options as a tool, a few things. Let's discuss them here. दो तीन क्वेश्चंस ही मैं डिस्कस करूंगा आपसे एक्चुअल कैट के, through which I'll just explain it to you that what am I talking about. So here is the first question from CAT 2020. Try to answer this question. Give me an answer to this question. आप सब लोग एक बार करके बताइए क्या आंसर आता है आपका. A question from CAT 2020. It's a very common question from CAT. I mean, CAT has asked this question many times before as well. Not exactly with the same figures. Slightly, I mean, the figures were changed, but the concept was same. It has been asked so many times. तो आप लोग भी बताइए एक बार क्या आंसर आता है आपके हिसाब से इस क्वेश्चन का. इफ यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर कैट बिफोर एज वेल तो आपको पता होगा. मयूर कह रहे हाउ टू एस अलजेब्रा. मयूर वही तरीका है जो मैंने डिस्कस किया. एनसीईआरटी की बुक उठाइए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लुक एट द टॉपिक्स इन कैट. व्हाट आर द टॉपिक्स दैट कैट वुड बी आस्किंग यू फ्रॉम अलजेब्रा. सो लीनियर इक्वेशंस, क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस, लॉगरिथम, apart from that a sequence and series, that is APGP series, etc., functions, and then modulus, then inequality. So these are some of the areas from which CAT would be asking you questions. Find out those areas in NCERT books, read them from the basics, read all the theory, gain some confidence, then start doing CAT level questions. Okay, here is a question for all of you. Let's start discussing. A gentleman decided to treat a few children in the following manner. He gives half of his total stock of toffees and one extra to the first child. So currently, let us say he has got X toffees. So he give half of them, right? Half of them to a child and one extra to the child. एक और दे दी. Remaining number of toffees is, let us say, Y. And then half of the remaining, so half of this Y is also given to the next kid and one extra to the second child. Let's say remaining is Z. And he continues giving away in this fashion. His total stock exhausts after he takes care of 5 children. So 5 times he does this. He again gives half of these chocolates to a child plus one more. He again gives half of these chocolates to a child plus one more. He again gives half of these chocolates to one child and one more. And his total stock exhausts. So at the end he has 0 toffees. How many toffees were there in his stock initially? तो शुरू में कितनी toffees थी, ये आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है. If I start taking X and I start making equations, it's very difficult for us to make, right? So very common question. A different approach, as I said, alternate approach is important है CAT में, through which you can answer these questions fast. The best way of doing this question is not from top to bottom, rather it is from bottom to top. Reason? X is unknown, but 0 is known, right? 0 toffees are left. What happened just before that? He gave one toffee to a kid. After giving one toffee, 0 toffees left. So that means before giving that one toffee, there was one toffee with him. Is that right? After giving one toffee, nothing is left. That means you had only one. You gave that one, nothing is left. This one was left when he gave half of the toffees to a kid. So when you give half of the toffees to someone and you are left with one, that means you had two. टू में से हाफ देंगे तभी तो वन बचेगा ना. These two toffees were left when he gave one toffee to someone. That means before that he had three. Out of three you gave one, you are left with two. These three are left when you gave half of the toffees to someone. So before that you had six. भाई सिक्स का ही तो हाफ थ्री रहा होगा, राइट. नाउ दैट वेज यू नाउ अंडरस्टैंड कि सिक्स के पहले सेवन रहा होगा, सेवन के पहले 14, 14 के पहले 15 रहा होगा, 15 के पहले 30, और 30 के पहले 31 रहा होगा, और 31 का डबल 62. So the initial number of toffees with the person was 62. That is the right answer for this question. And you see how fast we can answer the question if we move backwards rather than coming from top to bottom. It's an actual question from CAT 2020, as I said. यही क्वेश्चन कैट पहले 4-5 बार पूछ चुका है. कभी बच्चे 5 नहीं होते, 4 होते हैं. कभी हाफ ऑफ द टॉफीज प्लस 1 के बाद प्लस 2 प्लस 3 होती हैं. कभी एंड में जाके 0 टॉफीज की बजाय 3 बच जाती है, 4 बच जाती हैं. सो डिफरेंट वेज में पूछा है, लेकिन सेम क्वेश्चन बार बार उन लोगों ने पूछा है. नॉट ओनली इन कैट, आई हैव सीन द सेम क्वेश्चन इन अदर एग्जाम्स एज वेल. सो यू कैन सी हाउ दिस ऑल्टरनेट अप्रोच कैन आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन दिस फास्ट. अगर आप ऊपर से चलना शुरू करते हैं एक्स को लेके, तो उसके बाद आपकी इक्वेशंस बहुत अजीब अजीब बनने लग जाएंगी. बट इफ यू आर गोइंग फ्रॉम डाउन टू टॉप, तो आप देखिए कितना आसानी से आपका आंसर आ रहा है. 0 से 1, 1 से 2, 2 से 3, 3 से 6, एंड दैट वेज यू आर गोइंग अपवर्ड्स, एंड अल्टीमेटली द नंबर ऑफ टॉफीज विल बिकम 62. I'm sure all of you have understood this question. That was question from CAT 2020. I'm sure you would have got an idea what am I trying to say. जो मैं कह रहा था आपको, एक alternate approach की जो बात कर रहा था, वो आपको इससे समझ आया होगा. Let's try another question now. Question number 2 is here on your screen. जरा ये भी एक बताइए, ये भी CAT 2020 का ही question है. Have all of you understood question number 1? Please let me know through the chat box. बताइए जरूर मुझे. समझ तो आया ना आप लोगों को जो मैंने बोला है question number 1 में? I do not see any messages on the chat box. Okay, Mayur says yes, understood. Any answer for this second question as well? It's a question with no options. ABC are positive integers such that A into B is 432, B into C is 96, and C is less than 9. Smallest possible value of A plus B plus C. How difficult is that to do? I mean, I am saying, why do we make some equations or do something over here straight away? When he says C is less than 9 and B into C is 96. So if it is less than 9, and of course it's a factor of 96, they are positive integers, the factor of 96. C can be 8, B can be 12, 7 तो हो नहीं सकता. C can be 6, B can be 16, C 5 तो हो नहीं सकता. C can be 4, B can be 24, C can be 3, B can be 32, C can be 2, and B can be 48, or 1 and 96. These are the possibilities for C and B. Also, he says A into B is equal to 432. A into B is 432. तो उसके लिए भी पॉसिबिलिटी बना लेते हैं. If B is equal to 12, तो 12 से डिवाइड करते हैं इसको. 12 3 जा, 12 6 जा, तो A 36 आएगा. If A is 16, तो 16 से डिवाइड कर देते हैं. 16 2 जा, 16 7 जा, उससे भी आ जाता है ये. If A is 24, तो 24 से डिवाइड कर देते हैं. So 24 1 जा 24, उसके बाद कितना बचता है हमारे पास? 24 के बाद इट इज 20 नहीं 19, एंड 24 8 सा, सो 24 into 18 आ रहा है. इफ इट इज 32, तो 32 से तो ये डिवाइड ही नहीं हो रहा है. इफ इट इज 48, तो 48 से अगर मैं इसको डिवाइड करता हूं, इट इज बीइंग डिविजिबल एट 9, और 96 लूंगा तो उससे भी ये 9.5 ये नहीं आएगा. सो दीज आर दी पॉसिबिलिटीज. हाउ मच टाइम डज दैट टेक? स्मॉलेस्ट पॉसिबल वैल्यू ऑफ a प्लस b प्लस c, 36 प्लस 12 48 प्लस 8, यहां पे असम आ रहा है 56. 27 प्लस 16 43, 43 प्लस 6 यहां से हमारा है 49. 18 प्लस 24 42, 42 प्लस 4 46, यहां से हमारा है 46. और यहां तो अकेला ही 48 बड़ा है. So therefore, the smallest possible value is 46, and that gives us the answer. So this, how difficult this question is, if you are able to understand my point. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन कितना ही मुश्किल हो जाता है यहां पे करने पे. बिकॉज अदरवाइज व्हाट इज द जनरल थिंग दैट कम्स टू आवर माइंड कि यहां से बी की वैल्यू निकालते हैं 432/8. लेट्स से पुट इट हियर, 432/a इंटू सी इज इक्वल टू 96. सो यहां से अब c बाय a, अब जब तो बहुत सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज आ जाएंगी. सो व्हाट आर द राइट वे ऑफ डूइंग दीज क्वेश्चंस? कैट इज एक्चुअली लुकिंग फॉर दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स फ्रॉम यू ओनली. वो यही चाहते हैं आपसे कि आप फटाफट इस नंबर को कैसे सॉल्व कर पाते हैं. हियर आई हैव मेड दीज केसेस. आई नो व्हेन ही इज आस्किंग मी द लार्जेस्ट वैल्यू ऑफ a प्लस b प्लस आई शुड नॉट बी इवन मेकिंग दीज केसेस. अरे यार, एक नंबर बहुत बड़ा होता चला जा रहा है, व्हाई डू आई मेक सच केसेस? वो तो जरूरत ही नहीं है. आई वुड ट्राई टू कीप देम स्मॉलेस्ट पॉसिबल. इसके छोटा होने से तो बहुत बड़े बड़े हो जा रहे हैं ना. सो एनीवेज आई वुड नॉट हैव ट्राइड दिस, सो इट वुड नॉट टेक मच टाइम टू डू सच a question. I see Resham has already answered this correctly, but I took the largest value as MB. Okay, तो आपने कोई गलती कर दी किड विद ब्लॉन. चलिए आगे बढ़ जाते हैं हम लोग. लेट्स मूव टू अनदर क्वेश्चन. दिस वाज आल्सो अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम कैट 20. हियर इज अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम कैट 2022 नाउ. अब मैं इसके बारे में बात करता हूं. हैव अ लुक एट दिस क्वेश्चन, देन आई विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट इट. What is the answer to this question now? So the first question we discussed about an alternate approach. In the second question we talked about assuming some values. How do you get that fast? In this third question, now there are once again we have options. Can I take help of some options in this question? Yes, that's what I'm going to talk about. Just pay attention and do let me know if you understood my point or not. In an election, there are 4 candidates and 80% of the registered voters casted their vote. So let us say registered voters is R. So 80% of them, they have cast their votes. One of the candidates received 30% of the casted votes. These are the casted votes. One of the candidates received 30% of these. That means he received 24% of the registered voters, right? The number of votes received by this one candidate is 24% of registered voters, or R into 24 by 100, or R into 6 by 25. क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग यू द नंबर ऑफ रजिस्टर्ड वोटर्स. आई एम सेइंग मैं और कुछ नहीं पढ़ रहा, सीधा सीधा इस लॉजिक से मैं ये नहीं कह सकता आर मस्ट बी अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 25, otherwise this value be in fractions or votes of fractions में हो नहीं सकती. So R must be a multiple of 25. This is not a multiple of 25. This is not a multiple of 25. This is not a multiple of 25. My answer is this. I do not need to do anything else for this question. That's what I wanted to discuss in this question. How useful are options for us? I actually did this question the same way in my actual exam. This was there in CAT 2022 slot 2, where I also appeared. So I actually used it. So you can use these things during the exam time, but only when you are using them outside. You have made a habit of doing it. Through that, you can actually do them this way. So that was the last question that I wanted to talk about. So that's all from my side, guys. Now these are the our online classroom program toppers. The percentiles that they have got are written on their screen. Of course, you can see that these are the top percentiles, and there are many more people. You can also be a part of this screen. So next time, for that, you just have to join us for a comprehensive program. In their comprehensive program, you have got 300 plus engaging videos, 135 plus live sessions, 75 plus mock tests with video solutions, 10,000 plus practice questions, 15 plus power pack GDPI and VAT. We have engaging videos over here, and 4 hard copy books, 5 plus years of PYView solutions, and you will also get to know about your learn journey, right? that all would be a part of it. And to facilitate you with that, we also have a scholarship program, a scholarship test on 14th of May at 11 a.m. You can appear for this test on the BYJU'S exam prep app, and you can get up to 90% scholarship. Register for it now. Also, on 21st of May at 11 a.m., once again at the BYJU'S exam prep app, there is a session on 6 months to CAT 2023, which is being taken by Gautam Bawa, who is an IIM Calcutta alumnus, and therefore you can ask all your queries, your questions regarding this, and he would be giving you an ironclad strategy for the next 6 months, how to study, what to study, about all those things. Also, on our app, we are having this daily section-wise quiz. If you are preparing for CAT 2023, just attempt it on the app, and I'm sure you would be able to, prepare well using these quizzes. We are also running this 500 most expected questions series from April 6. It has already started. Subscribe for it now, right? It's on BYJU'S Exam Prep YT channel. So just follow us on this screen. We are also on all these media handles, and that's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. I'm sure the session has been useful for you. We'll meet again in some other session. Till then, bye bye and take care of yourself.